What's up, everybody? And I am the Goob from the FB and Goob Show, and this is Niners 3G, brought to you by the Good Time Tavern, 125 North Livermore Avenue, Livermore, California. All right, everybody, I'm the Goob, and I'll be honest, lifelong Niners fan since 1981. I know that dates me a little bit, but I'll be honest, since the catch, Dwight Clark from Joe Montana to beat the America's team, stupid Cowboys, a team who I hate more than anyone, except for maybe FB's Packers. Suck it, FB. Anyway, on today's edition of Niners 3G, we'll be talking about training camp and basically a prediction of what's going to happen this year. So let's start right away. Like you said, I've had quite a history with the Niners. We've gone through, the good times, and then the last 28 years have been, well, pretty bad. Let's be honest. We made some Super Bowls, made a bunch of NFC Championship games. We're not the Cowboys. We are better than that. But let's get started. All right, so I've been at the Good Time Tavern, and there's a bunch of questions going around. So I'm just going to start out with some of those. And everyone wants to know, of course, what's going on with the quarterbacks. And the Niners have made a decision. Purdy is their guy. No matter what happens off his UCL injury, he's number one. He's getting plenty of reps and looks pretty good in training camp. I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can tell. You throw the ball up to Brandon Ayuk, and he just catches it right now. So Purdy's entrenched as number one, unless he messes up, which never can tell. It's going to be hard to mess up on this team. Trey Lance, that's my guy, and I still think he's the most talented of the bunch. There's not really much to say. He hasn't had his chance. Fewest attempts in college by any quarterback drafted in the first round. Played a game, got hurt. Played a game, got hurt. So we don't really know what to expect. We know that Trey did go and play with Patrick Mahomes, his quarterback guru, Jeff, somebody. I forget his last name. But it doesn't matter. He's got a tighter release. Looks like he's got a better handle on things. I know that if Brock Purdy slips up, Trey Lance is going to step in and I think be more explosive, more fun to watch. Maybe not the game manager. Maybe he doesn't quite have the head on right. Purdy has definitely shown that he can make decisions. So we don't have to worry about Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. He won't be the third string. It's Sam Darnold. And Darnold might have the strongest arm out of all three of them. But we've seen Sam in Carolina and New York. And he was pretty terrible. So he might be one of those practice quarterbacks. I don't expect him to see much playing time. Of course, unless we have more injuries in the championship game against the Eagles. And then Sam Darnold to the rescue. Brandon Allen also on the team. He could probably start for, Carolina or somebody right now, but he's our fourth string. We'll keep him just in case, said title game come back again. All right, so that's where we stand as far as quarterbacks are concerned. We're liking where we are. Purdy's the man. I still think the most talented guy on the team will be second string. One day it'll be Trey's day, baby, and then we have Tuesdays with Trey on the FB and Goob Show. All right, so that takes care of the quarterbacks, I think. The next big question that everyone's had is, what is going on with training camp? Who is impressing? Who's not impressing? And the man who is impressing is Brandon Ayuk. The wide receiver from Arizona State is killing it. I believe he had 4 touchdowns in the last day of training camp. Most of them high-pointing the ball, beating the cornerback to the spot. His routes are clean. They're crisp. I mean, honestly, on any other team, I would say he would be a fantasy top 10 kind of wide receiver. On the Niners, there's so much talent. I mean, think about it. You've got Elijah Mitchell as the backup to Christian McCaffrey, probably the best running back in the league, combined, catching and running. No dirt on Derrick Henry and his running. He is the man. Let's see here. So Brandon Ayuk's killing it. Deebo Samuel has showed up in the best shape of his life. I mean, George Kittle is George Kittle. He's doing wrestling moves on the sideline. You know what I mean. So offense looks fantastic. I guess, we have had some troubles with fumbles. Jordan Mason, I believe he's a rookie this year. I get the running backs confused. We never draft them until the 5th round. So anyway, Jordan Mason has been fumbling. So it looks like he might be giving up the 3rd spot to last year's number 1 pick. All right, Jordan Mason was this year. Terrian Price was last year. So Price looks like he has a hold on the number 3 spot right now. But 4 talented running backs and Kyle Juszczyk. Let's just call him Juicy. So we got Juicy and Kittle and 2 sick wide receivers. Jawan Jennings is having a great camp. So I think the wide receiver room is fantastic. All right. Anyone else who's not impressed? Let's see here. Our rookie linebackers. D. Winters is fast, but he's missing some coverages and stuff like that. So we shall see. But all in all, great training camp. More pluses than minus, I would say. And knock on wood, nary an injury so far. All right. So speaking of injuries, normally this is where we talk about who we lost already. And so far, like I said, no one has been hurt. And get that thing out of my screen. And the key to this is probably our offensive line, which last year, I believe I coined the term, oh my God, those are our linemen. So I don't think that's the case this year. Our line's better. We've got the killer bees in the middle, Jake Brendel at center, who had a pretty good rookie year. Let's be honest. He alternate for the Pro Bowl, which I don't know how much that means, but he had a decent season. Aaron Banks in his second year moved up, and he's been solid. Only one quarterback sack last year and 2 hits, I believe. So that's solid. Spencer Burford on the other side was his rookie season last year. He's got some work to do, but again, very solid, beefy. He's heading in the right direction. He's making that jump. We've heard the offensive line coach talk a lot about Burford. Way better than last year. And then at tackles, we have complete opposites. Trent Williams on one side, you don't have to worry about him ever because he's one of the greatest of all time. And then on the right side, we have Colton McKivitz, who's stepping in for McGlinchey, which I don't mind not having McGlinchey on my team. I don't know how many sacks he let up last year, but it seemed like that edge rusher coming off the left side was beating him every time. We had to keep in Kittle a lot more than we had to. I will miss his running blocking. We will miss McGlinchey's run blocking, but all in all, I think McKivitz will do a solid job. Less blown pass blocks, probably not as good run blocking. But all in all, offensive line is on the up and up. Wish these people would stop texting me. All right, so we move on. That's pretty much all the questions. The one thing that's not a question and then is more of a statement is how good is this 49ers defense? And I'll be honest, the sky is the freaking limit. Like starting on the D line, I mean, we've got Hargrave and Armstead in the middle. You can't get better than that for defensive tackles. Nick Bosa, who I will take a quick timeout to say he has not signed his extension yet, but we're not worried about it. Normally that deal gets done probably around this week. So if he starts missing preseason games, that could be an issue. I really don't think so. He's going to get paid. We're going to pay him. That's that. So yes, we got Bosa on one side and then Drake Jackson on the other. And if you can't get excited about Drake Jackson, you have not been watching him. He had to cover Elijah Mitchell, who's one of our fastest players on our team, on a wheel route. And Drake Jackson was step for step. The ball was right there. Hit Drake Jackson in the head. It was great coverage. So I'm excited about Drake Jackson and the depth on the offensive line. I mean, we still have Kinlaw and Hyder Jr. and Kalia Davis. I mean, these are all starters on other teams, most likely. So the depth on the D line, unbelievable. Our new defensive coach, Steve Wilkes, he's just kind of like, what is going on? There's so much talent on this team. So, and then we have the two best linebackers. Well, the best linebacker tandem, I believe, and that would be Warner, good old Freddie Warner from BYU, and his buddy Dre Greenlaw. And Oren Burks has been holding down the third linebacker spot, which, you know, we got him from the Packers, FB, I know. But he's been playing really well as, you know, the guy that, you know, people try to pick on, but he's been holding his own. And we'll see if he can hold off the two rookie linebackers we drafted. I think he'll hold the job probably most of the season, unless he gets banged up. Like I said, these rookies got a little ways to, they got stuff to learn. And, all right, so then we just moved so far. The front seven is just ridiculous. And then we move to the cornerbacks. We have a top 10 corner and Charvarius Ward on one side. His W brother, Samuel Womack, had a great rookie year for what we expected of him. He will be holding down the other corner. And we did swipe Isaiah Oliver from Atlanta to hold down the corner. And he was one of the better corner guys in the league. So we might not have a lot of depth, but I like our starters at corner. Ambry Thomas and Darrell Luton Jr. will be fighting for that the dime spot probably. And as we head to the back end, we have our new superstar, Tufanga. We love this guy. So he made the All-Pro last year, and his buddy in coverage was I forget his name, the veteran. He played really well last year. We did draft Penn State's Jair Brown to possibly replace, damn it, I can't think of his name, the other safety, Tayshaun Gibson. All right, Tayshaun Gibson was the other safety, and he played fantastic. So I think our defense is set. We got depth everywhere. We got speed everywhere. We've got immense talent everywhere. I see nothing to worry about. And so we'll see. Let's talk about special teams. Jake Moody, highest kicker drafted since that bum out of Tampa Bay. It was Aguayo. So Jake Moody is 6 for 6 in field goals so far in training camp, and his battle is pretty much won. I'd say he's got the kicking duties. And I haven't even mentioned our kick returner yet. Fancy Ray McLeod, one of the best returners in the league, and he'll be a fantastic little piece of our puzzle here. Mitch Wiskowski is the punter. He's solid. Shit, I don't even know if I missed anything. Juwan Jennings, did I talk about him yet? He had a really good season, or preseason. And let's see. I believe that's the last of our questions. Mike Shanahan, John Lynch, you guys have done a great job. I want to thank Bleacher Report, ESPN, and all the little hubs that I get all my knowledge from and then just jam it onto here. And I'd like to say FB. There is no way the Packers get anywhere close to the wins the Niners do this year. So this has been The Goob with the Niners 3G Report. Peace out, like and subscribe to the FB and Goob Show.